1977, a shock took place in California, USA. Sellers sex slaves across the country. The girl was locked in a coffin, wood size, in the box. You can only come out every day when you are violated, eat, and drink. Lazarus solves it all in it. Life is better than death, however. What is even more perverse is, the murderer also put a long mental spell on the girl. Brainwashing caused him to develop an extremely severe case of STD, gormore synthesis. The disease is completely destroyed. Sex slaves for men in May 1977, at the age of 20, Caitlin, go to ad. Attending a friend's birthday party in order to save money, toll. He chooses to follow. Windmill, Caitlin has a strong sense of self-preservation. Invitation for average men. He will choose to decline, unless the other party is driving a luxury car or a family of 3. Soon he really waited for a car. Wife and child hitchhiker after getting in the car. Caitlin and the family of 3. Very harmonious chat, but it didn't take long to drive out. The driver suddenly became anxious. Shah then took out a 40-meter-long knife. On Caitlin's neck, threatened him to take his pants off to save his life. Caitlin, just be obedient in this way. The man is in front of his wife and children. Forcibly give Caitlin, violated 3 minutes later. Caitlin begged a man, let them let themselves go. Promised not to call the police, however. The man revealed an angelic smile. The backhand is a handcuff and stuffed his head into a wooden box. I don't know how long. Caitlin was taken underground in the room. Then he was imprisoned again. The coffin is smaller. I can't see 5 fingers in the box. The air is very limited. I feel suffocated at any time. Caitlin can only curl up, shrink, fantasy that it's all just a nightmare. The man's name is Rakha. He only takes Caitlin when he needs it. Let it out. If there is a little discooperation, he'll hang up Caitlin. Then use the skin, whip clip, nail, stun gun, waiting for tools to engage in perverted abuse, in order to make Caitlin completely surrender to herself. Under the torment of day and night, 8 months later, Rakha, forcing Caitlin to signed a lifetime slave service agreement. He must address Rakha as master. Without master's permission, not allowed to speak. Also meet any abnormal requirements of the owner. In addition to the long-term physical torture, Caitlin also suffered severe psychological abuse of Rakha. Keep pouring Caitlin. He lost a series of stories, claiming to have been killed by a man named. The company's mysterious organization has taken control. If Caitlin runs away, then he will be treated most brutally, and killing his whole family except for these fears, Shalaku. Caitlin will also be rewarded for her actions. It's like training a dog to sit. Once this action is completed, the dog will get a delicious little 0. Food, and so did Caitlin. Over time, Caitlin really put Rakha. He became the master and completely completed Curry's slave. Lee is also what we often say, Elmore syndrome, his symptoms. For the long-term victims in an abusive environment, abusers become dependent, even emotional recognition. He came to believe that he could not survive on his own. They will even voluntarily obey Curry's order. This state of mind is self-protection mechanisms under extreme abuse. This protection machine. How exaggerated is the system? In Caitlin, 4 years after the disappearance, Naku, for the first time ever, Lee allowed him to go home alone to visit. Family, normal people encounter this opportunity. Then you will definitely call the police. I'm sure everyone didn't expect that. Caitlin. He didn't tell his family anything about him when he went back. The story of being imprisoned and kidnapped was instead made up. Make a lie. Explain the reason for his disappearance. The family once suspected that their daughter I fell into a cult. But they were worried that their daughter would be overwhelmed, and he is now home safely. So there is no deep study. Not long after, the daughter came home for the second time this time. She still has it, Rakha. She pretended to be Caitlin, boyfriend and family eat and drink. They even bought her a car and a house. So it was 1984. Things finally took a turn for the better. Rakha, Lee's wife, Janice's guilt. The hatred gradually deepens. He actually asked Caitlin, confessed everything. The company Rakuri was talking about doesn't actually exist, and he himself has suffered for a long time. Rakuri's brainwashing torture. The problem is that the current Caitlin versus Raku, the words in it are convinced. No doubt he didn't believe it at all, Jenny. He insists that the company exists. To help Caitlin escape, Jen Nice also dialed Caitlin's house number the moment the call was connected, and Caitlin's hand was shaking. I don't know how determined I was to be careful. Wing told his family what happened, however. What is shocking is that Naku, I'm hearing Caitlin. I didn't get angry the first time I left, instead she cried. And it didn't stop. He might be Naku. You are overconfident in your ability to control yourself. Thought Caitlin wouldn't really escape. A few months after returning home, Lynn still hasn't called the police, expected to Raku make a call at a later trial. He explained that he was doing it to pull. Curry has a chance to reform, but Janice didn't want to. He provided the police with a wealth of evidence. And many years ago, Curry has kidnapped and raped, murdered a 19-year-old girl, August 1984. The police arrested Raku in his home, discovered for use in prisons, forbidden Caitlin's wood, box chains, and other torture. Tools Caitlin's brave court appearance, certificate details. He recounts the inhuman torture he suffered for 7 years. The judge finally ruled in favor of kidnapping, rape, torture, and false imprisonment. Sentence: Rakuri has a 4-year term, imprisonment, and Jani's fans, TUZHI, returned and rescued Caitlin. Therefore, the court decided not to indict in court, release.